So a little while ago, I got this like deluge of comments, and while I want to believe that all of these comments were different people, I kind of suspect for different reasons that these comments were all coming from one person using multiple accounts, and just asking a whole bunch of questions. And their questions had some similar themes. Their questions are definitely things that I've seen other people ask. So I decided that I just want to make one video addressing all of these comments, and it'll be a video that I can link to in the future. Hello everyone, Kayla here, and this is What the Kink, a natural hair channel where I share my personal hair journey and tips, tricks, and product reviews to help you with your own. So we're going to get right into the first thing that I noticed in this person's comments, and this was a reference to porosity, a whole lot of stuff with porosity, and the cup test. So first of all, I am going to just say it here, porosity is not as big of a deal as the natural hair community has made it out to be. I feel like there was at some point in the natural hair movement where people heard about porosity and then they took it and ran with it, and it has been out here ever since. The thing is, most people do not require some sort of special treatment of their hair based off of their porosity. Many people have what is considered low or even normal porosity. We seem to forget normal porosity or medium porosity exist. But if you have low or medium porosity, there's nothing special that you need to do to get moisture in your hair. Low porosity would mean that your hair gets moisture and then holds on to it for a really long time and you maintain moisture in your hair. That's what that means. That sounds like the function of healthy hair to me, and that sounds like you don't have to do something in particular to force your cuticles open or to make your hair absorb moisture. I don't know where this idea came where people think they have to do something special for their hair if they believe it to be a low porosity. I don't know. But anyways, let's really get into this cup test. So if you're unfamiliar with the cup test, people get a cup of water, they lay a piece of hair in this cup of water, and the thinking is that if it sinks, you have high porosity hair. If it stays in the middle, you have medium or normal porosity hair. And then if it sits on the top, you have low porosity hair. Well, of course, with this test, most people's hair sits on top. So that's why so many people think, oh, well, I have low porosity hair, now I need to do all these things that they say that low porosity hair people have to do. But what really happens is, first of all, water has surface tension, guys. And it's difficult for one piece of hair to ever have enough bulk on it to weigh enough to go through that surface tension. It's just not. Also, your hair does have a very light layer of natural oils on it. Oil and water don't mix. So your hair is going to float on top of this cup. Pretty much 9 times out of 10, your hair is going to float. I very rarely even hear people talking about their hair is not floating on this cup. But if you don't believe me, you do not have to take my word for it. I'm going to provide a link to a science-based hair blog by a scientist. And it is literally talking about how the cup test is complete and total junk science. In these comments, there was a lot of concern with closing the hair's cuticle layer. Y'all, this is not something that you actually have to worry about or something that you have to actively do. Number one, the hair's cuticle layer does not flap open and close like a door. It just doesn't do that. What really happens is the hair swells, because your hair is wet or what have you. And so it swells and the cuticle layer is slightly lift up off. That's it. And then the second that you move on with your hair regimen, you move on to the conditioning step, your hair begins to dry, it goes right back down. You don't have to do any type of rinses or, raid the kitchen cupboards and get something to balance out the pH of your hair to close the cuticle layers. You do not have to do that. The cosmetic chemists who have formulated shampoo and conditioner have already done this work for you. And then, of course, the act of washing your hair, which is filling it with water and then drying it, also has an effect on the cuticle layer. There is nothing special that you need to do to your layers. And I am going to link the same science-based blog that also has another article in reference to the cuticles and the cuticles opening and closing. This one is an oldie but a goodie, and that is moisture protein balance in the hair. Again, this is not something that you need to worry about if, I will say if, your hair is in general good condition. It does not require any special treatments due to being color treated or chemical treated or heat treated. And also you are like practicing a healthy hair care regimen. So in the past, I have made my hair feel like really, really bad because I was doing things that I shouldn't have done, and then I felt the need to bring protein in. But over the years, since I have basically my day-to-day products all contain some sort of form of protein, but it's not high up on the ingredients list. It's not like the first 5, like you could say this is a protein product. It just happens to be chilling in there, you know? So I do not actively avoid protein so as to have moisture only products anymore. So my hair is getting a small amount of protein just over the use of the shampoos, conditioners, and, you know, stylers and whatever that I use that have a small amount of protein. And that amount of protein is pretty much good for people, like I said, that don't have some sort of special need for protein and they just have natural hair and they're chilling. That's enough protein for your hair. It will get the job done. And then because these are not protein focused products and I am using moisture based products that just happen to have protein, my hair is also getting a decent amount of moisture. If you are just practicing a regular regimen, you are going to get the balance that you need without having to do special things to your hair. With that, I will say that what most people experience as moisture overload, so that's mushy, gunky, uncooperative hair, a lot of that is caused by leaving your hair wet extended periods of time, like leaving your hair wet overnight. And a lot of us used to do that, me included. I don't do it anymore. That will make your hair feel like that. Caking excessive amounts of product on your hair will make your hair feel like that. And also never clarifying, like ever clarifying your hair will also cause this feeling of moisture overload, which is probably you just causing a high growth fatigue from leaving your hair wet or having product build up and you got too much product on your hair, you need to remove it. Oftentimes when people get this, they then try to correct by using excessive amounts of protein. But of course, too much of a good thing is a bad thing. And so you can also cause damage to your hair by overloading it with these protein specific products. So please just use products that happen to have protein chilling in them. Don't go for the treatments unless you absolutely need them and you will have healthy hair. And then they also had a lot of mention of using oils to pre-poo. Now, I'm not someone who poops on oils, despite what some of you guys may think. I have never disparaged people who use oils on this channel, not once. I just feel like they're not necessary. I don't think they're bad. I just think that for most people, they are not necessary. And if you will notice the trends on YouTube, even people who do not follow the no oil, no butter philosophy of hair care, I have noticed very little mention of people moisturizing with a product and then sealing with an oil. That practice has all but died. I would be shocked if I was watching a YouTube video and saw someone do this because people just don't do it anymore. And not because it's bad, let me emphasize that again, but it's just not necessary. If you are using a moisturizer or a conditioner, it typically already has oils formulated in it. The cosmetic chemists have done the work for us. If you need to seal your product in with an oil afterwards, did your product actually work anyway? Maybe we should reevaluate the initial product that we're using. And then I want to talk about using oils to pre-poo, just because this person was really interested in using oils to pre-poo as if they had to do it. Because it's not necessary. You do not have to do it. I would suggest that you try to go a wash day or two without pre-pooing. Really focus on other areas of your regimen. So if you're using your pre-pooing to detangle, maybe focus on improving your detangling methods or how you are washing your hair so your hair does not tangle up. If you're using it to soften the hair before you wash it, perhaps try rinsing the hair really well before you put the shampoo. I stand under there quite a while. I apply the water like it's a product. I'm talking separating my hair, smoothing, doing all types of stuff before the shampoo even hits it. And then, give that a little try. And then if you do experience a lot of difficulty with your hair, you are feeling negative effects, then by all means go back to your pre-poo and do it. But it's not something that's life or death. I was just getting a vibe of like, this is life or death from this particular person. And though I don't necessarily endorse all the things that I've mentioned in this video on my channel, that again, I'm not saying that they're bad, and you can find other YouTubers that do these things and that will give you more information on these things. You're just not gonna get it here on this channel, okay? And with that said, definitely go and check out my regimen playlist so that you can see from beginning to end the things that I do endorse and how I do care for my hair. Subscribe. I post videos every week, and I'll talk to you in the next one.